The Triple Crown in baseball is one of those things that gets talked about like it's the holy grail of hitting. Lead the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs all in the same season, and your name gets stamped into history forever. It's rare. Miguel Cabrera 2012 Triple Crown was the first in 45 years, and it's treated like an almost mythical feat. On the surface, it's easy to see why. It combines three different hitting stats into one clean package, and it's only been done a handful of times in the modern era of baseball. But here's the thing, while it's definitely impressive, there's a good argument that the Triple Crown is also kind of overrated. Not because it's easy, far from it, but because of what it measures, what it leaves out, and how much timing plays a role. To win the Triple Crown, you have to lead your league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs, of course. That's it. No OPS, no on-base percentage, no hits, no walks, no WAR, no advanced analytics. Just those three stats. But why those three stats specifically? Well, the Triple Crown is a product of its time. It became a recognized feat in the early 20th century when batting average was king. Home runs were becoming the new flashy stat thanks to Babe Ruth, and RBIs were seen as the ultimate measure of production runs for your team. Back then, the numbers fit the narrative. A Triple Crown winner was someone who could hit for average, hit for power, and drive in runs. But the game has definitely evolved, and we know now that these three categories don't tell the whole story. OPS gives a better sense of a player's all-around offensive value. Hits are arguably more directly tied to batting average and production. Walks, completely ignored by the Triple Crown, are one of the most valuable offensive skills a player can have. If a player leads in hits, home runs, and OPS, you think that might be just as, if not more impressive than leading in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. But nope, baseball doesn't give out a trophy for that. One of the biggest problems with the Triple Crown award is that it's so dependent on the context of the season you're in. You could have an unbelievable offensive year season, one that would win the Triple Crown in almost any other season, but if another player edges you out in one of those three stats, those categories, you get absolutely nothing. Take Miguel Cabrera, for example. In 2012, he hit 330 average with 44 home runs and 139 RBIs, leading the AL in all three. Boom, Triple Crown. In 2013, he hit the same number of home runs, 44, had only 2 fewer RBIs with 137, and hit a higher batting average with 348. In many ways, you could argue his 2013 season was better, but he didn't lead in home runs because Chris Davis had 53 home runs, so no Triple Crown. Same story with Albert Pujols in 2006. 49 home runs, 137 RBIs, 331 average. That's better in home runs and batting average than Miguel Cabrera's Triple Crown season. But Ryan Howard drove in 149 runs and had 58 home runs. So Albert Pujols didn't get the Triple Crown award. And then you have Larry Walker in 1997. 49 home runs, 130 RBIs, and a ridiculous 366 batting average. Since 1935, no one else has had 45 plus home runs, 130 plus RBIs, and a 360 plus batting average in a single season, except of course Larry Walker. And yet, because he didn't lead in RBIs or batting average, no Triple Crown. All of the Triple Crown categories, RBIs might be the most flawed. It's a stat that depends heavily on the performance of your teammates If you got guys constantly getting on base in front of you, you're going to rack up RBIs. If your teammates can't reach base, you could be hitting 340 with around 45 home runs and still not lead the league in RBIs. That's what makes the Triple Crown so timing and situation dependent. A player can do everything right at the plate but still fall short because the hitters ahead of them aren't getting on base. It's not that RBIs are meaningless. They do measure production, of course, but they're a team influence stat in a way that home runs or batting average isn't. The reason the Triple Crown can feel a little overrated, some of the seasons that actually win it don't look as dominant by today's standards. Take Chuck Klein 1933 for an example. He won the Triple Crown with only 28 home runs. That's still a nice number, but in modern baseball, hitting 28 home runs wouldn't lead the league in pretty much any season nowadays. Then you look at guys like Todd Helton in 2001, 49 home runs, 146 RBIs, and a 336 batting average, and he barely cracked the top 5 in home runs because that was the same season Barry Bonds had 73, Sammy Sosa had 64, Luis Gonzalez 57, and Alex Rodriguez had 52. In any other era, Todd Helton's season might have been a Triple Crown contender winner. In 2001, it was just another great year lost in the shuffle. Ted Williams is one of the most famous examples of how the Triple Crown can be misleading. He won it in 1942 and 1947, but in 1941, he had his career highs in hits, home runs, and RBIs, and didn't win it. Why? Because someone else edged him out in one of the other categories. It raises the question, are we really celebrating the best seasons, or are we celebrating the ones where the competition just happened to be a little weaker? If Cabrera's 2013 or Pujols' 2006 season happened in a different year, they might have been remembered as Triple Crown seasons, but because they happened when someone else had a slight edge in one of the categories, they get left out of that elite club. The Triple Crown creates a all or nothing mentality that doesn't necessarily reflect who had the best overall offensive season. You can dominate the league in overall offensive value, have the best OPS, WAR, and on-base percentage, but if you don't lead in exactly batting average, home runs, and RBIs, the Triple Crown award ignores you. It's why Cabrera's 2012 season is remembered more than his arguably better 2013 season. It's why Albert Pujols' 2006 season gets overlooked compared to less impressive Triple Crown seasons from decades past. It's why Larry Walker's monster 1997 season is a trivia fact and not a celebrated greatest season ever moment. Now, don't get me wrong, leading the league in NAD stats is a huge accomplishment. Doing it in all 3 categories in 1 year is rare for a reason. You need, of course, skill, power, and a lot of things to break your way, but the problem is that we tend to treat it like it's the ultimate stamp of hitting dominance, when in reality, it's just one of the many ways to measure greatness. So, is a Triple Crown award overrated? I think the answer is yes, but with an asterisk. It's still an incredibly rare and impressive accomplishment feat, but it's not the perfect measuring stick for offensive greatness. It rewards timing as much as talent, ignores some of the most valuable skills in modern baseball, and leaves out players who might have had objectively better seasons just because they didn't happen to lead in those exact 3 stats, offensive stats. Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols, Larry Walker, Todd Helton, Ted Williams, these guys all had seasons that were equal to or better than some Triple Crown seasons, but because of how the stat works, only a couple of them get remembered in that light. If anything, the Triple Crown Award is more of a quirky historical milestone than a definite Best Hitter Award. At the end of the day, it's fun to talk about. It makes good headlines and it's a nice feather in a player's cap. But if you're ranking the greatest offensive seasons of all time, you shouldn't automatically put a Triple Crown year above all the rest, because sometimes the almost years are every bit as good, if not better. So that'll be it for this video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I much appreciate it if you click that like button. Thank you for watching.